Good morning. We are in Exodus 2. And there went a man of the house of the Bible, the Holy Bible. Exodus 2 of the Holy Bible. Okay. All right. And there went a man of the house. For all y'all who don't know where Exodus is, Exodus is the second book of the Holy Bible. Okay. All right. Now, and there went a man of the house of Levi and took a wife, a daughter of Levi. Told y'all it's been going on since day one. Yep. It's not just West Virginia, it's everywhere. Okay. And there went a man of the house of Levi and took to wife a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. Okay. That's obviously Moses. Obviously Moses. Okay. Um and when she could no longer Verse 3. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the child therein, and she laid it in the flags by the river's bank. Now, just a reminder of why she's hiding the child, y'all, is because the king, the Pharaoh, has ordered to kill all of the male babies because they're getting so strong and mighty, he's fearing them, the Israelites. He's afraid that if they have an enemy rise up, that the Israelites will join forces with them and take them out. And he's probably right. He's strategically trying to avoid being defeated. And there's layers of stuff there. So she hides the baby so that the baby doesn't get killed. Yep. Um, yep. All right, here we go. Verse 4. And his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. because she knew that was the king's order. She couldn't just. She could be killed for breaking the law. So the woman has to get rid of this child. Pharaoh doesn't play. This is pre-medieval times. They would kill you in a heartbeat and not think twice about it. There is nothing, but there's no law but the Pharaoh, and he says kill all the children, the male children of the Israelites. So to have that baby there is basically a death sentence for her and everybody else, and the baby. So in any way to preserve the baby, she has to send him off or hide him or something, or of course God is working. Yeah. Okay. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the river side. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the baby wept. And she had compassion on him and said, "This is one of the Hebrews' children." Then go. No. Then said his sister to Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and call thee a nurse of the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for thee?" And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Go." And the maid went and called the child's mother. Now that's a pretty brilliant strategy. Okay, she ducked off looking. Okay, Pharaoh's daughter's got the baby. I mean, I don't know. She kind of like, it's pretty dramatic right there what could have happened. You know, the baby sent down. The mother just kind of like let it go. Well, good luck. It was probably a pretty nice arc that thing wasn't going to sink easy. That thing was going to be riding and passing some pretty cool people on the way down. So it was a nice setup, I believe. They got slime, arc, all kind of stuff. So this thing it's basically probably a beautiful thing floating down the river. I don't know, but it's gonna get noticed. He's probably got snacks, toddler, a little toy swinging around in there. You know, those things that dangle over the for toddlers. He's probably got one of those in there. He's got all kind of stuff in there. Maybe a little hamster. Ow. All right, so it's going down, and she says, "Oh, let me go fetch you a nurse." No, she didn't say it was the baby's mother. But Pharaoh's in charge now. That baby's safe. That's Moses. That thing doesn't sound right. And I want to give a shout out to my son. He went to work yesterday. He showed up and showed out. Um, he followed through with the work. He did good. He's 13. He showed up. He went to work. A little sore. He's not used to working that much. But guess what? He had a chance to quit and go home. Not him. No, my boy showed up and finished up. Yep. He followed through. That's my boy. So shout out to James. I love you. You did that. And he's still here. We're going back today. That's my boy. He showed up and followed through. No pain, no gain. And I want to tell y'all something else that happened. That God was on a situation. I got 2 brand new weed eaters. Brand new weed eaters. A hedge trimmer attachment, a blower attachment, an edger attachment, and a chainsaw attachment for $30. Where'd they do that at? A weed eater by itself is $200. At least 100. At least 50. I mean, these are nice weed eaters. Weed eaters. Okay, then you got the attachments. They're $50 a piece all day. One needed a spark plug. The other one just crunked right up. All that stuff, $30. 2 brand new weed eaters. I mean, I had weed eaters, but 2 brand new weed eaters, an edger attachment, and a hedge trimmer attachment, a blower attachment, and an edger attachment, and a chainsaw attachment. All of that for $30. Unbelievable. I showed up at the guy's house. I mean, it was on a Nextdoor app. I saw a weed eater. I thought he said no, the weed eater doesn't work. But guess what? It's got good head on it, all this stuff. I said, man, let me go check this out. This is too good to be true. $30. I pull up. There's a weed eater on the curb. I said, hey, what's going on with that? It's just sitting out there. Oh, you take that too. It doesn't work. Okay. So it's brand new, man. Things are $200, 200 and something dollars. Okay, so I'm just saying that's for $30. 2 brand new weed eaters, hedge trimmer attachment, edger attachment, blower attachment, chainsaw attachment, and then a whole nother weed eater, all brand new and running. You talk about running. So $30. Okay. That was God working, if you ask me. I mean, that's unbelievable. That never happened. Okay. I didn't want to make the video today. I said, man, these videos are too long, bro. I'm just sitting here. I'm just gonna go with it, man. Let's see what happens. And Pharaoh's daughter said unto her, take this child away and nurse it for me, and I will give thee thy wages. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And the child grew, and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter. And he became her son, and she called his name Moses. And she said, Behold, I drew him out of the water. Because I drew him out of the water, drew him out of the water. And it came to pass in those days, when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. So Moses saw an Egyptian beating up a Hebrew, smiting him. Whatever that means, killing, smacking, power slap. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. At least he buried him. Wow. So, all right. And number 13. And when he went out on the second, and when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together, and he said to him that did the wrong, Wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, Who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me, and thou killest the Egyptian? He said, What, are you going to kill me like you killed old boy? So he knows that somebody knows he killed the Egyptian, which is a classic ungrateful state. Yep. Oh Lord, we don't appreciate you. Oh Lord, you were on the cross. We don't even believe you. You're not even real. What? God? No. No, we don't believe in God. No, the Bible's not real. Why are you reading it? Okay. All right. I'll take my chances. Okay. Next. Yes, that really happened. A dove just came out from behind my back. Y'all heard it. Rewind it. You'll see. So, classic ungrateful state. That's what I get out of that. Oh God, you're not fair. You're not just. Oh, you're pro-slavery. You're unfair. You're unjust. Blah 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 blah. Cook him. Now, when Pharaoh heard this thing, and no, and when now when Pharaoh heard this thing in 15, he sought to slay Moses, but Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. And guys, it's important to acknowledge that all this is happening essentially for the Christ to happen, and for I mean, pretty much for this moment, not just this moment where I'm at, but just everywhere where we're at today has been a leading up to God is in control. And all these events that happen, God is in charge. Okay. That happened with the Christ. It happened with creation. It's going to happen in the Lamb's Book of Life. It's going to happen. It's going to always happen where God has been working. Okay. And that's just basic understanding. Yeah, you can have your stuff. Yeah, you can make your decisions. Yeah, you can go down the wrong path. Yeah, you can kill somebody. Guess what? God's in charge. Well, you might say to yourself, if God's in charge, then how can I still have choices? Okay, if you have a boss at a McDonald's or a job, you have your choices too. That fry cook can leave them fries in a minute too long. He can put extra salt on there. Guess what? That boss can fire you in a heartbeat or order whatever fries you want to order. That boss is in charge. Oh, you're not working today. Oh, sorry. No, don't come in tomorrow. Take a day off. I need you for overtime this day. You know, anything you do is not affecting the grand scheme of what's going on. I don't care who burnt fries you serve. That line is still going to be pushing through in the morning. So the only thing you're in charge of is your little tiny stuff. You're not doing anything. And even the bad stuff you're doing, that was a bad example. I take that back. But God is in charge here. All this stuff is happening to bring forth the Christ and to bring forth everybody out of Egypt. God, this was all planned, and when you realize that everything happens like that, you understand God and His relationship to the world. And a dude the other day on a live on TikTok, he's a really big philosopher. Dude said God isn't real, and dude said, "Are concepts real? Are numbers real?" And he just put it very plainly, and it was very precise and exact. A good example. It's not an example. It's just straightforward, rational reasoning to understand that concepts are real. Yeah, you can't see the number two, but guess what? It exists. He said, "Well, guess what? It exists in your mind." The other guy, okay, does it exist? He said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, that's how God works. He's a concept. He's not, and that is obviously a bigger thing. You can't kill a concept because it's eternal. It's something that exists fluidly, and that's how God is." He said, "But no, we want to put God in a petri dish and say, oh, there He is.' No, that's not how existence works. Concepts are real. Mathematics is real. It really works. Like I find mathematics really works. Okay, it really adds up mechanically, even in the concept world. So it's not just a thing that we're throwing out there. So, so yeah, I just want to throw that out there. And we're still going here. So Moses sat down by a well. Okay. Now the priest of Midian, he fled Egypt. Now 16. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water. And filled the troughs. And they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. Okay. And when they came to Ruel, their father said, so the shepherds are coming in to drive the flock after they've been watered to wherever they need to be driven to. And Moses helped them. Okay. But Moses stood up. No. And when they came to Ruel, their father, and said, or Reuel. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock. Okay, so I had the story wrong. Sorry. I take back what I said. I'm not exactly sure that's what happened with the shepherds. Let's just read it for a second. Okay, and he said unto his daughters, and he said unto his daughters, and where is he? And why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. Okay, so I guess what happened was they was at the well. What the daughters were tending the flock at the well, and some other shepherds came and said, "Hey, y'all move out of here." They kind of like bullied them out of there, or attempted to. But Moses helped them against the shepherds. And he said, okay, so yeah, the shepherds came to drive them away from the well. But Moses said, hold up, y'all, we're watering the flock here. And he handled that. Y'all need to wait y'all's turn. Y'all need to chill. um, and he said, verse 20, unto his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah his daughter. And she bare him a son, and called his name Gershom. For he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. And it came to pass in process of time that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage. And they cried, and their cry came up unto God by reason of their bondage, of the bondage. And God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God Good morning. Preach. Preach. The king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel sighed by reason of the bondage, and they cried. And their cry came up unto God. Okay. Um, and God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob. And God looked upon the children of Israel, and God had respect unto them. And that's it for chapter 2. I'm tempted to just cut the video off in just a second. Usually I try to push on and fill up the 50 minutes, but we did chapter 2. That was that. We did good. I don't have to do a 50-minute video. It can just be as needed. I think that's what we'll do today. Let's just stop it right there. We read chapter 2. And I'll read the footnotes later and brief y'all on those. The plan is to read the footnotes later and brief y'all on those. But I'm pretty sure they're not going to say nothing. So we're going to stop right there. We're on YouTube at Preach Facts. We just got to stay consistent. We're still reading a chapter a day. I mean, sometimes not even a whole chapter, but we'll just take it as it goes. And I'll check the footnotes later, but we did good. We're on TikTok at Preach Facts 7. So y'all have a good day. We're done. See you tomorrow.